Are you an upcoming entrepreneur or author? Have you been looking for direction and know that God has more for you? Hi, my name is Quinona Gifford, aka Mrs. Q. Becoming is a podcast about entrepreneurs and authors, trials and tribulations. We always see them rise. Here we will hear them overcome. There is a power in every story. Welcome to Becoming. I am your newest podcast host, Quinona Gifford. This platform is designed for upcoming authors and entrepreneurs to inspire and encourage through testimonies of successful authors and entrepreneurs sharing their experience on how they have overcome trials and tribulations. Now listen, I have a belief. If you keep yourself open, your life is about to change. Let's go. Hello, everyone. I am super excited about this episode because we have not only a good friend, a person that I love having conversations, so I know that this would be something that you will definitely enjoy. But I wanted to invite to the stage, we have today Dezmond Twymon. You know, he got all these other titles, so I'm going to give him a few minutes just to tell us a little bit about himself.
Hey everybody, I'm Dezmond Twymon. I'm currently serving in the United States Navy. Been doing so for the last 10 years. Also have a lot of entrepreneur and small businesses that I have. I have a trucking company called Smooth Pursuit, based out of Alabama and Atlanta, who are contracted with Amazon, a mobile bartending company that's doing pretty decent, and real estate investment company dealing with tax liens and tax deeds. So that's just for me.
You know, he underscores all these amazing. He says small, but in reality, they big. They big. I ain't found one thing that he has done that has been small. So yeah,
I appreciate that.
I met him through my kids. He is a tutor in Dothan, Alabama, and he really did like it. But he was such a blessing to me because I was a new mom to the military, to the Navy, and he really helped guide me. It was many days that I called him panicking, franticking, like, oh my God, like, what am I supposed to do? Because my baby
late night calls, everything.
They was way over yonder and I was here. But he knows how to way to calm me down and be like, okay, look, I'm gonna investigate and I'll let you know. And he definitely kept me informed. So that's how our relationship started. But our relationship ended up continually because God got in the midst of it. So it's an honor, a pleasure, like I said before, to have you on this show. I remember, amen. I remember one particular incident that you really spoke into my life, and it was a moment where I really didn't want to receive what you said, but I heard what you said, and I believe that everyone needs that in their life. That's why it was so imperative for me to bring you on because we need to know the difference when God is sending people in our life to speak past what He has for us because we're not open to receive what He has.
Right.
So, and you made a statement about I see you on TV, and you even made about I see you being the next Oprah, and I thank you for that because even when I didn't want to believe it, I started seeing it through what you had said.
I appreciate that. And I do. You always came in with like a positive positive, caring, like feel and vibe, and I really appreciated that because I mean, even when I met you, it was a low point in my life, and you helped me through it as well.
Amen.
Especially going through like deaths in my family and my
Hmm.
grandma passing. You were there and brought gifts and just was there for somebody like an outlet and somebody for me to talk to. So I appreciate you as well. I
Yeah.
think we pushed each other through situations.
That's how God
I
does.
think, yeah, yeah,
He
we both
works
help
on
each
both
other through a lot of
ends.
stuff. He put people in your life for a reason. He put people
Exactly.
in your life for a reason.
For a reason. And so many times we don't take advantage of that because we don't understand where we're at. But every now and then God will keep reminding you about that person or keep bringing that person back in your heart, and you're thinking one thing, but then you don't realize that that thing was bigger. Me meeting you
Right.
as my children's recruiter was so much bigger than that moment. That was just the start, but I think at one time I probably touched you more than they did.
Right.
um and I know that I know that's a total God moment. I'm in the place and I'm sensitive enough to know when God is speaking and when he's not. And I know a lot of times in our conversation, in my unsurety, he would use you to say certain things, and it would shift my mind, and it would prepare me for what he had planned for me.
It be like this sometimes. Sometimes we need. I mean, we trust in God and everything. Have faith and move by His word and let Him be in control. But sometimes God sent people in our lives to give us that reassurance. I remember when I was starting off, especially with my businesses and stuff. I was just like, I was in it, I was out it, I was in it, I was out it until I met up with this young entrepreneur Christian group and met some powerful people there, powerful people, and just being in that room and being able to like see people moving that look just like me and my age, it just reassured me. And I'm a person that believe in my faith and I believe he got control over my life and he gonna do what he want to do with me. It's just up to me to come there and be present in his movement. So for me to experience that moment, especially in a Christian group, it was very powerful and reassuring for me to be like, I see where you put me at, God, and I'm gonna move in the direction you got me. And I think that's what we all need to do it as Christians. Like, stop trying to plan so much of our life and just give God an opportunity to come in and take over and just be like, I'm present and I'm not gonna lead you astray. But you have to believe in my plan and just be present with me and
Listen,
then he'll move you. I'm telling you, it's powerful. And I don't think people, in the journey, it's just that faith that you grow to have where you can just sit back and enjoy the ride and be like, all right, God, I see where you're
wow.
leading me. Just let me be part of your plan.
Just let me be part of your plan.
Right.
Something you said that was real powerful was you said being in that moment. Being in that moment, what does that mean to you? Like being in the moment.
Being in that moment is like appreciating because sometimes as human beings we get so attached to material things or our goals and stuff and we don't put value on people like we should embrace the moment that or
Yes.
embrace the people God has put you around and learn from these individuals, hear their stories. Because I feel like our God is a God of nuggets. He put nuggets in your life for you to, take in. But a lot of us look over because it's like, what are you here for? And if you ain't here to help me make my goal, when it's actually a nugget in your life to help you reach your end goals. But I feel like just being present in the moment, taking it, no matter where you at in life, maybe if you're in a gas station trying to scrape up money for gas or you at a big convention, take in everything around you, talk to people, communicate,
Yes.
just be in that moment and embrace the people who are in your life at that time.
Now you said something that I love because I always talk about this is nuggets. We
Nugget.
gotta grab the nuggets.
We
We
do.
gotta
We
get
do.
the nuggets. Oh my
Yeah.
goodness. It's so important because the nuggets carry us to the next place. The nuggets sustain us. The nuggets hold us together where where it gives us power in that
Right.
moment to shift with what God is saying. It's so many times that I had a plan and God shifted me in a moment, but it was the nuggets of me trusting what he was saying is where I got to that place. And I mean, that is so powerful because you can
Right.
go through a process two ways. You can go through it frustrated, irritated, and agitated, or you can go through it and say, God, I trust you no matter what. I don't understand. This is not the street I was going to go down, but I trust you and I know that you have a plan. And when we get to the destination, it's going to be bigger and better than what you have for me.
Right.
So
Believing in
I
them niggas.
love
And,
it.
and just let him take control. Just let him take control.
That's
Yeah.
it. Some of my best
Cause
things I got from just saying, okay, God, I don't know nothing. Show me what you talk about because I'm a little confused. And I know you ain't the author of confusion. I give that word back to him. And then that's when he guides and leads me to a place. And I'm so grateful. This journey has been so amazing just to watch.
amen. I
Just to
appreciate,
watch
yeah,
it go
because
through.
you you have been around for it. You have
Yeah, it's just been a watch.
the stresses.
I think you stress yourself out.
I agree. And we had that conversation the other day. And we had this conversation. We had this conversation just what was it a day? It was yesterday.
Yeah.
You was like you stress yourself out, and that's true. That's true. That's true. And
And
like
that's
you
the
said, I
power
need
in
to learn how.
owning where you at.
Right, like you said, I need to embrace the new life I'm coming into, and I need to
Right.
learn how to maneuver around it. And that's true. Because
Mhm.
even that I'm here, it's still some stuff I forgot. Because I rest and pay. I rest. Trying to take a meeting here, trying to take a meeting here,
See?
trying to do this. I still forgot stuff.
Yeah. But it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. We gonna be okay.
We
Because
are.
it's a learning lesson. It's a learning
It
lesson.
is. It
So
is. It's
and
them
that's what you
nuggets.
have to
It's
do.
them nuggets. It's them nuggets. You gotta start listening to them. That's
Listen,
what
you
it
better
is.
get them while you can get them.
Right.
I think so many times we think that people are going to be here forever, and we overlook what they're trying to tell us and where they're trying to help us be. And I'm learning to slow down a little bit and to embrace the moments that I have with people, like just being available, being involved, being, what I'm saying, like instead of trying to do 10 different things, I want to be in the moment. I want to live in the moment. I want to enjoy the moment because enjoying the moment helps you in the place to travel longer. Like my time with my husband, my time with my kids, my time, I want to embrace where I'm at because when I get back entrepreneurship, when I write, I'm present in them moments. So I like to be present in the moments that I have with my family too. I think that's
Yeah,
so important. What can you say about that?
yeah, I agree. I agree. As you go through entrepreneurship, you get those times. Like sometimes you go through this streak of just nonstop work. Then you have that relaxation time where you can just sit back and be in the moment and enjoy your family. But then as an entrepreneur, stuff is up and down. So enjoy that moment while you can before
Mm-hmm.
business wrap up again. Because big seasons for me is like holidays, especially with the company picking up a contract with Amazon. Holidays is a busy time, and tax season is a crazy time for me. So uh, when I do have the downtime, I do embrace it. Like right now is my downtime, so I flew to Atlanta, to just spend time and be in the presence with my friends and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree.
Well, we definitely appreciate
But
you taking time out of your downtime to be with us.
thank you for having me. Thank you for having me. It's an honor.
You have so much wisdom. I mean, it just amazes me um from when I walked into the Navy, who you were and who you are now. And I mean, just to watch your growth, to watch you evolve, to watch you be who you are is just blowing my mind. And and I think so many times we don't understand that people are evolving while we're evolving. What would be one of the things that you would say is a key to you evolving?
A key to
Mhm.
me evolving
From that person to this person.
to this person. Okay, so a lot of people don't know this, but most of my business ventures or my mindset, getting in that posture to, to become an entrepreneur happened when I was at the lowest point in my life. It
Hmm.
happened at the lowest when I was losing a lot of family members, especially a lot of people who raised me.
Hmm.
You know, Me and my friends were at like a low. You know, it was just a lot going on in my life, and at the lowest point, that's when I started reading into like, getting into trucking companies, getting into like real estate investment, stuff like that. And the turning point, and I'm not gonna lie, the turning point for me has nothing to do with me being an entrepreneur, but it was a turning point for me growing you know, uh, into who God wants me to be. You
Hmm.
know, establishing boundaries, just being in the presence, and it was a lot. It was a lot of healing that I had to do. It was a lot of family relationships I had to deal with. It was a lot, and me coming from then to now is nothing but doing the work, going to counseling, getting back in church, reading my
Yeah.
scripture, being present, enjoying, putting my value in people and not in material things. That brought the process. Establishing business and wealth just came along with it, but the me coming from there to now has been work on myself, and the money just comes with it.
It's something with working on yourself that just that make you not settle, make you not want to,
Yes,
that make you not want to what I'm saying? It makes you not want to be the same. Like you want to grow. I think for
right.
me, that's what it was for me. When I started working on myself, I started seeing myself as God seen me. I started seeing my future as it needed more. It needed something more in to be to be successful or to be, because it wasn't about money for me, but it was about freedom. you know
Right.
it was about freedom. It was about making choices, having options. That's what it is about for me, because lack had been on my back for so long, and I was like, listen, the only way it's gonna get off if I put my head down and stay focused, because I already did the hard work in the background of working. But I had to get to the point where I just it had to be it
Yeah,
had to be
and I
enough.
agree. I agree. When you start working on yourself, you realize you stop accepting a lot of things, and you start to reach your full potential, because you know you, and I don't know. And I hear people always saying like, "Oh, I love myself. I love myself." But when you truly love yourself, you stop having to say it. It's more about how you move in life.
Show it.
Is like, yes, you show it. Is God, family, friends. It's just
Mhm.
you start to protect yourself, and you start to move how you
Mhm.
feel like you should move, and not move for others, but move for yourself.
Because you learn to put yourself first. People think
Yes,
you're
yes,
selfish, but you're not selfish. You just have to. It's a protection thing. When you're growing and God's talking and speaking to you, you start putting yourself in a place, because most of the time we put other people before us. And so when God
we do.
started dealing with me about me, I started pulling back, and I realized that people were using me. Even if they say
Mm.
they wasn't using me, they was using me, because this is the thing. As long as I did it, they were willing to take it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't call it using. I would call it. Sometimes we don't know our worth in ourselves.
That's it.
And people just take advantage of that. So I wouldn't call it using. I'm just saying we had a lack of self worth, so we was doing stuff that we know we should be
Right.
valued more of. Yes.
Exactly. Because I'll be like, that's the whole world. No,
Yeah, it is.
no,
No, I know my worth.
I can't.
Mm-mm.
And I ain't even got to say nothing behind it. I can't.
Yeah, because you know your worth. You know we
Mhm.
know the kind of work and then you start to realize like how valued you are, or how appreciated what you do is. And I think over time, that be the big picture God try to show us overall. Like,
Exactly.
he made us in the image of him. And he's saying, like, I need you to know who you are so you can step into your truth, like who
That's
I
it.
put you on earth to be.
Hey guys, this is Transformational Thursday with Minister Kayla Shea. I am here to remind you of the promises of God. And in Isaiah 54:17, God promised that no weapon that is formed against you would prosper, and every tongue that rises against you in judgment, you're going to have the power to condemn. You're going to be able to silence every voice, everything that everyone is trying to say against you or cause to try to hinder you from what God has for you. Yeah, God is going to give you the power to silence them. Yeah, because they're going to be able to see the goodness of God all over your life. Listen, I come to encourage you. Keep pressing, keep pushing. Don't worry about the obstacles that are in your way, because you have the power to overcome anything that is thrown your way. Because guess what? What's for you, it won't miss you unless you're out of position. So I encourage you to stay in position, because the end of that verse says, this is the heritage. It's not for everybody, but it is my heritage, because I am a servant of the Lord and my righteousness is of him. Stay in position. Yeah, transform your mind so that you can transform your life. We love you, and we'll see you again soon.
My first question for you is, what motivates you?
Okay, what motivates me is, prime example, I had a conversation with a guy last week, and he it's not somebody I like regularly talk to, but it's somebody I met a year ago. And when I met him a year ago, I just met him and we had conversations, right? Make a long story short, he actually I had called him because I was just checking up on some things and he was on my heart. And I called him and he informed me that he was just in a car accident
Okay.
and he was in a wheelchair. But when I called him the first time, he was in the hospital. He said when he seen that I called him, it reminded him that there was a God.
Mm.
So th- conversations that show me or that remind me that this thing is bigger than me is really what motivates me. Conversations that push me past my comfort zone or push me past my plans, that's the kind of things that motivate me. Changing this world. Of course, my children. I mean, I could have simply said my children, my husband. I could have said my grandson, but in reality, it's so much bigger than that. It's like to see people change, to see people evolve, because I was obedient. That I said something and it shifted their mind. It helped them not be so vulnerable to what the devil was doing. You know what I'm saying? Or the right now situation. That's the kind of thing right now motivates me.
Second question is, if you could describe yourself in 3 words, what would they be?
Oh wow. If I could describe myself in 3 words, it would be anointed,
Mm.
powerful, and limitless.
Okay. And why? Why those words?
Um, because when I surrender to God's will and not my will, I'm powerful. In the
Mm.
kingdom, I am powerful. Oh, when God has put me on assignment, I'm getting it done and I'm touching lives and I'm moving things. Anointed. I was trying to think
I
of
know.
what the second word was. I, I'm anointed because God has given me a grace and
Mm.
a utterance in his kingdom. Like I speak to people and tears fall down their face in a regular conversation. Like I can speak to people, but not even knowing God's using me, but I'm just being obedient. And then next thing you know, tears fall. And I think that's the power within because only God can do that. You know what I'm saying? Like only God can do that. And I say limitless because anything I go after, I can have. Anything that I conquered and set my mind and be focused, maybe you better watch out because it's done.
What does when God talks to you? What does it feel like?
Okay, so I I I honestly not trying to be funny, but I feel like God trains you for His voice. You know, we're so much inside. You know God's voice. Well, baby, let me tell you, my story was totally different. Cause what it would be like, it would be a soft voice or soft knowing that God did this, right? But I wasn't sure. And I was like, there was that God doing? And then I would go to church and then my pastor would confirm it, you know, or I would have a conversation and then it would confirm it. So it's like a knowing within. So he trained me because as much as I started trusting that moment, tried trusting, and it got stronger, and that feeling got stronger because he don't want you to feel like you crazy. He don't want you to feel
Hmm.
like you lost your mind. But it's the power in trusting what he put in you. It's like your mama. You know, your mama call you and you like, did she call me? She call you again. You know, or you get a text and you like, wait a minute, she called me. You know what I'm saying? So God does the same thing. He reassures you
Okay.
because he doesn't want you to be like, am I crazy? You know, because you're not.
Okay.
You just have a power within, and I think so many times we don't trust the inner person in us so much, and that's the thing that blesses other people. Like when you just call somebody um because you felt led to call them, you never know if they gonna commit suicide, if it slowed them down from an accident, what it happened. So I try, when God puts somebody in my heart, I try to be obedient because I don't know the power in what the obedience is.
Mm, interesting. And so, what drove you to go the entrepreneurship route? Because I think we both the same. We both have 9 to 5s, but we also have
Yeah.
our
Well,
other
okay.
avenues.
I talked about it in my last episode a little bit about how what I wanted in life and what my job was providing. And at the time, like nursing and doctor, like, well, nursing was a big thing, and I guess especially like in the Black community, like that's how you gonna come up is be a nurse. Well, I went to a nurse and asked her how much she made. I wanted this at the time. I wanted this house for 350,000, and I was like, "What's she making?" And what this house is not adding up. And
Hmm.
this ain't no big house. This is a basic. It was a new house, but it was a basic house. And I'm like, God,
It was
it was like it wasn't. And I was like, I had enough common sense to know I wasn't gonna get nothing that route. So I had to do something. And so I've known for probably about 15 years that I will not um I'm in corporate America, but I will not retire from corporate America because
okay.
God's calling me to something bigger.
I like the process. Okay, interesting. So okay. So what is the overall goal? Like, what is the vision you see for yourself?
The vision I see for myself is
Let's talk about two visions. Let's talk about your vision and let's talk about the vision you think God leading to you to.
well, to be honest, they're the same.
They're the same. Okay.
They're the
All
same.
right.
And why I say that is because my like I thought I was gonna do event planning and all that kind of stuff, but God just like kind of pushed me away from that. And I mean, and not saying I can't do it, but the more I surrender to him, the more I write books. That wasn't my plan, that was his plan. I never thought I would be an author. Most people know my story, but I never thought I would be an author. And here I am, 8 books in, and some co-author on some books, and leading some books. And I'm like, God, this you, and about to do a manual for a 6-month mentorship, you know what I'm saying? Like, this you. And so this is not my plan. So that's why I say it's insane. But I see myself now I can see myself speaking to large
Mhm.
crowds, help motivating, shift people's minds, their perspectives. Um, especially entrepreneurs and authors. I believe that's who I'm really called to. I'm called to tear down the image of entrepreneurship and bring the reality of entrepreneurship to people. Because we think as soon as we sign a business license, we have arrived, and it ain't even got started. You could be
That
3 or 4 years
ain't.
in and still trying to figure it out. That's what I'm called to do. I'm called to bring awareness, to bring a power, to bring knowledge and wisdom to people that really want to do kingdom work. But I'm also called to merge entrepreneurship and Christianity together because it's needed. Our kingdom is drowning because we feel like it's not a need for money to be there. When God told us to work our gifts.
The Christian entrepreneur group that I went to the seminar. It was called the Lions Den, and it was amazing. It was, and I met a lot of multi-billionaires
See?
there, and that it was a Christian was amazing. It was, and it was held at a church. And what they do every year is like they get people to come in there and like present their ideas like Shark Tank. And the best idea, they invest like millions of dollars into that person, helping them grow and so they can have the opportunity to give back. So I really
Amen.
admired that.
That's
I
good.
really admired that. It was amazing. It was definitely the light that I needed to push myself.
Yeah. See, like that's the kind of stuff I'm here for. I'm here for the development. I'm here for the growth. I'm here for the change, changing your perspective. Because I truly believe if you change your perspective, you'll change your life. So
Oh
many
yeah,
times we
definitely.
don't want to change that.
But it's hard to change your perspective when all you know is your perspective. Until
But
you
that's my
introduce
point.
yourself, yeah. Until you introduce yourself into like uh, a different lifestyle or a
Hmm.
different area, because sometimes we get caught up in what we've been raised with. Sometimes our environment limits us, and until you get out and see the world and for what it
Right.
is, you can limit yourself just by taking one approach and one perspective.
Hmm. But so often this is the God we serve. So often you don't even have to yet take yourself out that environment. If you change your mind, the environment will come to you because you'll find yourself walking into people like, the most of the time we're not open to when people come up to us to try to give us, a better perspective, a better knowledge. And God will send people to you, and then you can start taking yourself out and moving and changing. Now, I'm not saying you got to stay in the environment, because you stay in the environment, ain't gonna do nothing but irritate you. But you have to, if you open, because somebody on here may be thinking, okay, what environment? What my environment may be different than your environment, but I promise you, if you surrender right now and say, God, I want what they're talking about. I want more. I want to be better. God will send people to you, but you just got to be open, and He'll show you how to move.
That is true.
He'll
That
show
is
you
true.
how to move.
That
Yeah,
is true.
because He's not gonna just leave you. I've had
But
people come out of crazy ways come to me and drop seeds.
that's true.
Now I gotta water
No,
them,
and
and I
you
gotta
also
move.
have people that come in, and wolves that come in sheep wool, and they see you
Listen,
moving in a way, and they try to be like, oh, I can help you with this, but they only there to destroy. I've had that.
you gotta have discernment.
Hmm
You gotta have discernment, and I think that's where we can ask God for more wisdom, more knowledge, and more discernment. I have people right now that are around me, and they think I'm crazy. Oh, okay.
Really? Well, I mean,
I'm moving with
another thing,
God.
your vision, or the vision that is put on you, is put on you. And
Mm-hmm.
going to Bayview in San Diego, like uh, Pastor T said something one day, and he was like, people think we crazy because sometimes we see past what they see, but you got to remember this vision was put on you. This vision
Exactly.
wasn't put on you. So he even referred back to Noah. He was like, people probably called Noah all kind of lunatics, but that vision wasn't for them to see. It was for him to see,
Exactly. When
for
that
him to
water
do that
came,
work.
they
So
got the revelation.
yeah, but at the end, it wasn't for them to see. Even
But it was
even
too
like
late
no matter,
then.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But the point is,
Mm-hmm.
what was done during that process, they had to be a part of what happened
Yep.
for it to be for the will to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Only he had that vision, and it was up to him to fulfill that vision. So, and then I think sometimes people look at us, or look at entrepreneurs like, oh, what they doing? They wasting all this money, but it's our vision, and we can't make people understand our goals and our vision. That's why
Exactly.
I don't share this doing this is a lot for me, because I'm a private person. I don't share with that in mind. Everybody's not going to see how I move, and everybody's not going to be accepting or not accepting,
Open.
just supportive of what I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody not going to understand, like, oh, I'm putting all this money into a business venture. They be like, why you doing that? You could be doing, see, you don't see my vision, and that's fine, because this vision was given to me. It wasn't given to you.
Exactly. And it's and
And
it's okay. And it's okay.
it's okay. It's okay.
It's
And we
okay.
have to be okay with it. We have to be okay with it.
Because that's where I'm at. It's okay. Like people, even with the podcast, of me doing whatever, and I'm like, listen, I seen it. You wasn't there when the Holy Spirit fell on me and was like, "This is what you're called to do." And then it was after you said what you said, so it was like, there go the confirmation. I mean, I'm just having a
Right.
regular conversation with somebody, and I said, "This is what I'm supposed to be doing." And yes, it may have been delayed, but does not mean that God changed his mind. Because God has a plan. And I'm just
Right.
surrendering to his plan. So yeah.
Yeah. But
Any more?
remember, everybody who watching, faith without work is dead. So when you get
Dead.
the plan, you have to work. You have to work.
Yeah. And you gotta know your timing too. You gotta
Yeah.
know the timing of when God says it, and be okay with it. Like I did a lot of research even before I got started. I did a lot of trying to see the bigger picture, the vision. And even me starting now, I know it's still layers that I still got to do. I just had to start.
Right.
So sometimes you got to understand the way he showed it to you. It may be the final thing, but you have to start with what's in your hand. Once you start with what's
Right.
in your hand, then he start bringing the rest of the pieces. So you have to trust the process. It's not. It may not be easy, but I promise you, it's worth it in the end. The blessings that flow and follow being obedient is amazing.
Can you tell me about a difficult situation and how you overcame
I mean, because I really don't think about situations as being difficult. I just go through
it? Mm.
them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't never think about as this. Oh, hey. So, to be honest, when difficult situations come, I really don't look at them as a difficult situation. I just look at how can I solve it? How can we make this situation better? How can we what is God, I always ask myself, what is God teaching me? What is God revealing? What is God showing me? And then I ask, how can I maneuver through this without not being who I am? Like, what am I supposed to be learning? Because this is the thing, ain't nothing like going through something and then you got to re-go through it again because you
Hmm.
didn't learn what you were supposed to learn, because you didn't
Right.
get what you needed. You know what I'm saying? So when something comes upon me and it challenges me, I usually try to evaluate, why is this happening? Because a lot of times it's because they're jealous or the lack of their knowledge. But I can't change how people react to me, but I can change how I respond.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? So I put the power back in my hand by evaluating. Because if it's a jealous issue, then I think about it and I move accordingly. So how I move accordingly is this: one, I'm aware now. Two, I don't put myself in that situation no more. Like, I don't give them that much access.
Hmm.
And three, I take it back to God and say, okay, God, like, continue to show me this person's heart. I'm saying, but so many times we drop the ball because we're not aware. But remember, caring is sharing. So share us with someone that needs to be encouraged or inspired, an entrepreneur or a person that is wanting to become an author. We are so excited and ecstatic about you spending this time with us. And until next time, become who God needs you to be.